everybody, this is the Wikstrand. So, who ordered this French version of Jaws? I must ask, because there are just a little bit too many similarities between this movie and Spielberg's super classic from the mid-70s. If you've never seen Jaws and you just see this, you will say to yourself, wow, this is kind of a cool and a unique idea, but they have just stolen so much things that I couldn't really let that thing go. But apart from that, this is not really a movie that is going to, you know, turn heads or anything like that. It isn't anything new here, except for the ending that was a little bit of, huh? That was a new thing, I will say. Xavier Gens, I've seen a couple of his movies, and he's a kind of a unique director, and he has his own unique style, but for some reason, either he had too many restraints put upon him, or he was just bored out of his mind. That's maybe why he has done such a formulaic movie. But we're getting a little bit too far into this thing. Let's find out why this movie is not as good as it could have been. This is Under Paris. So a few years ago, Sophie, her husband, and a bunch of other people were investigating the effects of the pollution of the sea and the plastics and stuff like that. And during this investigation, they were attacked by sharks and everybody died except for her. And years later, she doesn't know what to do with her life. She's still traumatized by the incident and stuff like that. But the thing is that she finds out that one of the sharks that they were able to tag during the investigation, the one that actually ate her husband, Lilith, she's here in Paris, in the River Seine, hiding somewhere beneath the city. She comes in contact with this activist group who wants to help the shark and not kill the shark. She is more interested in killing the shark and maybe avenge the death of her husband or whatever, and she joins forces with a police officer. The thing is that the mayor isn't too happy about these shark things and wants to keep it under wrap because they're going to have these, you know, big triathlon thing going on in Paris, and she doesn't want to have any bad press or stuff like that. So will they be able to kill this shark and keep it under wraps, and are they going to be able to save it, or is this something else and just a shark because it moves unlike regular sharks and it doesn't behave like a normal shark? It is something that about this shark that is a little bit unusual. So who is going to come out on top, man or shark? That's what we're gonna find out in this movie. I like some of the sequences in this movie, which proves that, you know, in certain circumstances it is the law of the jungle, and no matter how good your intentions are, man's inner awfulness will always take over. It's always fun to see how things actually will turn out in some events. I like those because it felt a little bit different. The characters are wafer thin, and the acting is okay at best. The movie has a plastic and kind of boring look to itself, and it doesn't have any impressive visual storytelling or anything like that. The production looks okay, and they have decent cinematography. And when a certain thing happened in this movie, I said to myself, I wonder where they're going with this, because I'm not entirely sure how this movie is going to end, because they did a couple of things that was a little bit different, and I like that. And then the ending came, and the ending was a little bit, huh? How? How did that happen? And what's gonna happen now? And what? I will say this, it was at least an ending that was a little bit different than what I assumed from the start. It got a little bit of plus for that. But this is a movie that when you watched it, you're going to say to yourself, that was a decent shark movie, and I was slightly entertained for a bit, and now it is over, and I'm not going to think that much about this movie for quite a while, I would guess. I mean, it is better than some of the awful, horrible, cheap, stupid, and downright what the fuck is this shark movies that has been made over the 20 plus years. I've seen a few of them, and some of them are quite abysmal indeed. This movie is just a bit underwhelming and a bit formulaic, same for the ending. And there is really nothing here except, you know, more sharks that eats people and a different setting in Paris. That's it. I don't know why Stephen King has said that it's one of the best movies he had ever seen. Maybe he saw another movie than I did. I don't know. But it didn't have that, you know, deep blue sea moment, and it didn't have that suspense that Jaws had, and it didn't have anything really to make it stand out, save for the ending and save for the Paris setting and save for, you know, the French actors in this movie. It's just a bit bland and a bit formulaic, and it was fine, I guess. If you watched Deep Blue Sea and if you have watched Jaws, there is really no reason to see that. They are probably the two best shark-related movies that I've seen personally, and they are by far better than this movie is. I give this movie 33 points. They did a couple of things that was a little bit different, and at least the movie looked professionally made, and at least the effects were decent, but there's really nothing here that will hook you beyond this is a French Jaws movie on Netflix. So which is your favorite shark-related movie? Comment below, and I'll see you next time from, well, so and so reviewing, well, such and such. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much.